This ain't no game, this that CSZ game. They said pull up, so I came. You better put some respect on their name. Yeah, 55 was goody. Kill the vibe, how could he? Big Cardinal on the hoodie. Let me break it down for you fully. This ain't your average broadcast. This ain't just no podcast. I'm the show spread fake news. We just call it podcast. West Joey, Sam, Sean, Dalton. And you know that boy hit you. He said he wants small fries. Tell him they better make him big. Yeah, you already know what we be on.
You bet. 40. Here he goes. This place is gonna.
If we set it instead of the stone, sit in the seat, set up your phone. You in the Cardinal sports zone.
Straight steal of home. The slide. The Cards win.
The magic is working tonight. How do you know when things are
The emotional journey to the championship.
What is up, everybody? We are coming to you live from the Shoot 360 studios. Welcome to the longest running streaming podcast in the nation, devoted strictly to the University of Louisville Athletics. This is the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, brought to you by Prime IV Louisville. I'm your host, Jeremy Wyman. Here are my co-hosts. First off, it is the big little brother. One of these days I'll get it right. It's Joe Wyman.
Acknowledge me.
And across from him is the guy who the closest he's got to ever scoring was holding the door open for his mom. It's Schwan.
How's it going?
Oh, what'd you say?
How's it going?
Sorry, I had Sam's mic turned up and yours turned down. Sam is not here with us tonight. Apparently, SMU beat us so bad that he decided that he was not going to be here with us tonight, which really sucks because not only did we have a football game for him to help break down and dissect, but Women's Battle of the Bluegrass was also yesterday, and we'll talk about that in a few. Again, not a very good weekend for any of our sports teams except Sean's. And listen, I'll just be honest with you, our pro football team lost because we also started a deuce at quarterback because there was a injury for our team. Seriously, Rudolph's numbers too. So we started a deuce on both sides. Didn't work out either way. Don't forget the Mossy Oak chat line is open. Robbie's already in here with us. Good evening, Robbie. Check on the graphic below on the right side to see where you can follow the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast on social media. And on the left side to see how you can help support the podcast monetarily, if you will. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or however, send us your questions on social media. Hit that thumbs up button while you're in here watching on YouTube. YouTube is our preferred way of you watching the show. It does help out more analytically and with sponsors. Subscribe to the podcast on YouTube and Facebook to be alerted anytime we go live. Speaking of sponsors, shout out to our fine sponsors, and they fine. Fitness Market, Four Packs, Collision Course Crew, Tailgaters, Cherry Pick and Shoot 360, Mossy Oak, Planet Fitness, Rally House, Beckman's Fine Blades, Josh Jarbo from Remax Realty, and Prime IV Louisville. Sean, speaking of Prime IV Louisville, at Prime IV Hydration and Wellness, they believe in the power of personalized health care. Their memberships are designed to provide you with regular access to top quality IV drips and injections tailored to your unique needs. Discover the benefits of consistent wellness treatments and join the Prime IV family today. Your journey to better health starts there. 502-251-9836. Tell them we sent you. They'll get you set up. We're getting geared up for our next treatment here in a couple weeks. Guys, not a whole lot of positives during yesterday's game. What's up, Brocky joining in on YouTube? Appreciate that. Not a whole lot of positives yesterday. I mean, our kicker got back on track. That would have been nice the week before, but I digress. We only committed one turnover, and that was in garbage time to the best team in the country at forcing turnovers. And you would think with guys that weren't experienced, there would have been some turnovers to be committed. But the guy that threw the interception was the guy who led the summer in interceptions thrown. So it's not a big shock that he ended up ultimately turning the ball over for the first time. Cards lose 38-6. We're not doing the thing where I recap the game. It was too depressing. Biggest loss in the Brom era. 8 losses, 8 one-score losses in the past 3 years, a loss by 17, a loss by 14, and now this one, only the second time we have failed to break double digits under Brom, the third time under 14 points, and both of those were in the first season. He was out of the 3 times, wait a minute, both first season. All of them were the first season. We were 1-2 in those games. We beat NC State 10-9, I think his first year. 11 losses by a total of 79 points, which, Sean, we know you can't do math, but that comes up, and Wes Brocky's on the line. So you two in a quick recall contest would probably not be very good, but that's 7.1 points per loss.
Unbelievable.
Super unbelievable. Even when you add in the shellacking from yesterday, it pushes it up to 9 points per loss, which still would have been pretty impressive if that was the only number we heard. The quarterbacks did show us yesterday why Miller Moss was the best option. Offense was stagnant. Defense could not figure out the diagonal plays. Almost a repeat of California when their players got any kind of diagonal movement. Ran to it was bad news. In the last 6 games of the season, his first 3 years, the first year he was 3-3, and that's including the bowl game and the ACC title game. Last year he was 4-2. This year 2-3 with 1 to go. We start out pretty good. We don't end. Something we got to work on. The big news that's coming out behind the scenes is that Jeff Brom has signed his extension, allegedly. That should be announced tomorrow. Defenses regressed a little bit or exposed, depending on how you look at it. Cannot help though we were without a lot of key players. It was a disappointing season due to all of that. Forget next week's game, and we'll talk about that on our season finale. Friday is our Friday night finale. As you all know, we only do the Friday shows during the football season. So this will be our last Friday show, unless we change up the Sunday. Because that's one thing we will do. Once we get down to 1 show a week, we'll move that second show. Well, it'll be the only show at that point. We'll move it around depending on the basketball schedule. Are there key games on Saturdays? Are there key games on Fridays? And then we'll come to you with a live with 55 during the week to kind of make up for the second show. But what has to change? Sean, I'll let you go first on that. What do we have to do to beat Kentucky? What in the big picture overall, what has to change if we're 6-1 and 6-0 last year, and whatever we started out the first year? Well, let me ask you before, what has to change? What do you think, other than injuries, has been the reason we have limped down the back half of the schedule every time?
Some of it has been offensive line play, I would say. Some of it has been just quarterbacks not making good decisions in games. And also, the big thing is, I don't know what it is, but when Jeff Brom is coaching in big games against big teams, he calls plays without any fear. When he's playing against teams that he's superior to, for some reason, he's afraid to lose. And I feel like he calls more conservative play calling. And I don't know why he does that. Like, I guess it's his fear of losing. He does not like to lose at all. I don't even know if you want to call it fear. I think it's hatred of losing. He hates
we all
losing.
Other than you, we all hate losing.
Yeah, he hates losing, and so he doesn't want to do that. So he, for whatever reason, he's like, well, we're better, so I don't have to call plays like I would against Miami or when he's at Purdue, Ohio State. He calls more conservative plays, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem to work out. Now, it also defensively, the defense, for whatever reason, towards the second half of the year, except for last year. Last year was pretty much all year, with the exception of a few games at the end of the year.
Right.
It's almost like teams do figure them out. Like this year, it seems like anytime they throw the flats, we have problems covering it. And we have some trouble, for whatever reason, we've been having trouble against the run recently. And that opens up the other team for play action going over the top. Kevin Jennings hit a couple of big passes over the top yesterday. So it's a matter of figuring out, is that because of injury? Is it because they figured it out and you need to have Ron English go in and retool his game plans?
It doesn't have to. We don't have any injured defensive players.
Watts was out.
But Sanquon was back.
Yeah, but Watts is a different player. He can play kind of safety and linebacker.
Right, but so we didn't really miss that. So did Watts play versus California because the same stuff happened?
Yeah, he played against California.
So you're putting a 5-star in for a 5-star, and me, that makes it even. That makes it a wash. That's Robbie wants to know, do you think Isaac Brown going down is what ultimately did Louisville in? No, I don't. I think it's defensive scheming ultimately did Louisville in. The fans screaming for a quarterback change and reiterate to me, do you mean yesterday or just in general? Because he placated and he put in Deuce and he put in Allen. Is that who it was?
Yeah, Allen.
But
I don't think anybody was claiming for Allen.
But Brady Allen is the Sean Barber of the football team. So I don't know. I think there were a lot of things, injuries, fatigue, a lot of. I don't think it was just one. If we had Isaac, do we lose to Clemson? No.
Mm-mm.
We still have the other issues. If we had Isaac, do we lose to California? I don't know. Maybe not.
That's a good question because, to be honest, if you look at our offense early in the year, it was Isaac Brown.
Yeah,
it was Isaac Brown. As soon as we lost, what happened? As soon as we lost him, what happened?
What were Q1's stats during the California game?
He had. Was that the game?
Didn't he go for like 145 yards rushing that game?
I don't know if it was 145. I know he had more. I think he had the better game against Clemson. He still had a great game. It's 2 back-to-back 100-yard games.
136. And so you could argue that his stats but what did Duke have? So did Duke give you Kiwan's normal backup numbers? That's the thing we argued against.
That's the issue.
The entire thing. Kiwan was a great finisher, but could he be and he did prove he could be a great starter. But Duke's been banged up the whole year. I'll be honest with you. I don't expect to see Duke or Kiwan back. I expect them to give all that money to Isaac. Ransdale, what's good in the building? But no, I do not think Brown going down is ultimately what did Louisville in. I normally have answers to everything. I don't know what has to change. I guess you could say, do we need better talent? Maybe you can always use better talent. Do we need, as much as we sung his praises the first part of the year? Was this just a gimmicky defense? Did Ron fool us? Did he trick us? Did he penny cane us? I don't know. If you look at the rest of his body of work, Magic 8 Ball, signs point to yes. So I don't know. I really don't know. Some people would say that there needs to be a staff overhaul. Well, the problem with that is not going to change. First off, for the people that are like, we got to get rid of the offensive coordinator. Well, there's 2 problems with that. First off, his name is Brom. His last name is Brom. Second off, the guy that really calls the plays on offense, his last name is Brom. It's the head coach. So it wouldn't matter if that was Brian Brom or Sean Barber. Well, no, if it was Sean Barber, we wouldn't score. But it wouldn't really change a thing. Joey, what's on your mind? What do you think needs to change?
I really don't know. The only thing Sean said something about people, other teams figuring out the defense in the second half of the season. If it was me, then I would, halfway through the season, I would have a plan ready to go to install a new defensive scheme. So I'd have one for the first 6 games and then one for the back half of the season. But a lot of that is a moot point anyway, because you don't just I'm running this scheme games 1 through 12. You're looking at who you're playing, or at least that's how you should be. And maybe that's the problem. That could be the problem. It's just, this is our scheme. This is what we're going to do. And whoever we're playing, be damned. It doesn't matter. This is what we're going to do. And then somebody gets 15, 16, 17 catches on you. I'm not real sure. I mean, Isaac going down obviously didn't help. Duke not being 100% all season doesn't help. I mean, Kiwan was a bright spot, the production that he's shown. But ultimately, I think I'm going to say it this way, but it's not necessarily how it's meant, and I don't 100% believe it, but the somewhat unwillingness to make the change at quarterback, earlier. Now, again, we've seen what happened yesterday. But maybe a little kick in the butt 3 games ago to Miller Moss might have lit a spark under him, like, hey, you're not playing next week. and then, oh crap, I need to get my crap together because I'd really like to try to, make myself look good enough to make it to the next level. This is going to be the first QB for Brom at Louisville that's not going to play on Sundays. He's not going to be a practice squad QB.
He may hand out donuts.
He'll be working at Bachman.
That, or he'll be in Canada.
See, maybe he's going to play for the Louisville Kings. I don't know.
Ooh.
So here's something else. We have highlighted how many close games that we lost, but I'm going back. There were 2 games this year that we could very easily be 5-7 or 5-6 right now. We'll go back to last year. Beat Virginia by 4. That could have been a different story. Beat Boston College by 4. That could have been one. Just pointing out, not lost to Notre Dame by a score, lost to SMU by a score. That's enforced. Lost to Miami by a score. Beat Clemson by 12. Lost to Stanford by 3. Handled Pittsburgh pretty well. Handled the Blue Turds really well, and almost lost to Washington in the bowl game. So that does concern me that as many close losses as we've had, and I'll go back to the first year too. We've had just as many close wins. His first game, we won by 5. Game 3, we barely beat IU by 7. You went to that game, Sean.
Yep, and we were destroying them first half. Second half, we couldn't do anything.
That's your fault. We beat NC State by 3 points. It was 13-10. I said 10-9. There was another one like that. Handled Notre Dame here at home. Got blown out by Pittsburgh. Beat Duke pretty decisively, and then Virginia Tech as well. That was the game where Virginia was driving his first year, and they almost beat us.
Mm-hmm.
They probably should have beat us.
Isaac Orindo had that big touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The very next game, we beat Miami by a score, and then we get beat by a score by Kentucky. Then FSU beats us by 10, and Miller Moss blows our doors off. So I'm trying to find that game. So is this the NC State game? Was this the previous lowest scoring game by Brom, 13-10?
Sounds.
I believe so. I'm looking. I believe that's the. So broke that record, but regardless. So to answer your question, Rans, all of his seasons have went that way. I'm not really sure what you mean by last year. We were close to lose the games, but we won them. You could say that about the games that we won that we were close to losing as well. But nevertheless, opinions of the game yesterday. I'll start with that one. It just when you don't start your starting quarterback. Now, if he was legit, if this was a legit, they said he was available to play. He probably should have, my opinion. But maybe this was just a, hey, fans, look, shut up. This is, you all wanted this. We're giving you a chance to see it. We got blown out worse than we've ever got blown out here. So here you go. Now, I don't think that's what he did, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express one night, so maybe that has something to do with it. But it wasn't inspiring at all. When you put a freshman in to start his first game, and he looks fairly decent. Now I want to say fairly. Some people Tom Jeffries would say he looked phenomenal on his first drive, but Tom Jeffries is a Bears fan, so who knows? How would he know what phenomenal looked like? Salty, but I'm dumb. You break up that momentum by putting in a guy that has just never played well anywhere, including for you. And he threw, like the public don't know this. I mean, you do now. He threw the most interceptions in spring camp by 10 out of all of them. Pick. He might as well have been a Pez dispenser. Like, open up his head, throw the little candy pill to the other team. Like, it is what it is. My opinion of the game, it was a cluster fudge. There were no bright spots. There was nothing positive except for Cooper got back on his kicking game. Joey, what your opinion of the game yesterday?
It was not fun to watch the first half, and quite honestly, as you know, I didn't wake up till the game was over. Fell asleep at halftime, slept right through it. Didn't miss anything, evidently.
No, to be fair, if we just started winning, I would have tried harder to wake you back up, but you look so peaceful over there. Sean, what about you? Was there even anything to learn from?
I don't think there was. It looked like it didn't even want to be there. That's what it looked like. It looked like the team didn't want to be there. I wouldn't say they quit necessarily, because I know the defense, at least in the third quarter, they tried to keep the team in it.
Yeah.
The offense could not get anything going. And then the fourth quarter, well, that was a different story at that point. So it was just, I don't know. The only thing, I would just burn the tape on this one. I wouldn't even go over the tape with the team. I'd just burn it and say, we're forgetting that game. New season starts today, guys.
Well, David has an opinion. It sure is an opinion. He says Brom's downfall this year was sticking with Moss way too long. Deuce looks like a much better option if he had utilized him earlier in the year. Moss would have lost just as worse yesterday. I'm going to disagree with the last part, because Miller Moss has been – you all did the same thing with Jack Plummer. Jack Plummer sucked. Jack Plummer, not flashy. Jack Plummer didn't throw for 300 yards a game. Jack Plummer won us 10 games and got us to the ACC championship for the first time in history. Miller Moss was a similar type quarterback. He didn't do anything flashy. He did everything he could against Clemson. That was not Miller Moss's fault we lost to Clemson. He did the bare minimum to get the victory versus Clemson. Now, would Deuce have looked better if he'd had more reps throughout the year? Sure, probably. Maybe so. But did he stick with Moss too long? Way too long? I don't think so. Did he stick with him too long? Possibly. But when you pay a quarterback as much as you do, you want to try to get every nickel out of him, right? So you try to give him the benefit of the doubt there. But we appreciate it, David. Robbie said any kind of substantial quarterback play would have changed the season. Bell's still going to be a top 10 receiver in the draft and was barely utilized. Joey, can you look up Chris Bell's stats for the year? I'd be interested in seeing that. If he started off through the first 6 games with 600 yards receiving, so
72 receptions, 917 yards.
That's pretty
6
good.
touchdowns.
That's pretty good. So he's had about the same amount of receiving yards in the second half of the season as he did the first half of the season. 72 catches. I would. Robbie, I love you, but I wouldn't call that barely utilized. I would say that Bell was heavily utilized. Now, the last couple of games, he ain't had as many looks. I will agree with you there. Ransdale said, do we expect any of these top players to return, or do you think their injuries will be remaining the remaining of the season? Let's talk about that a little bit. In a fantasy world, Sean, Isaac Brown's back in the game lineup next week. Miller Moss back in the lineup, and Miller Moss will be back in the lineup next week. I don't know about Isaac. Do we have what it takes to win this regular season finale if those two guys are back and are even firing at 3 out of 5 star level?
If the two guys are back, yes. If only one's back, I'm not sure.
Okay, fair enough. Joey?
If Isaac Brown and Kewan Brown are back.
Yeah, Q1's not playing.
What's his injury? Do we know what he injured?
No.
Okay.
And
no.
Colin Lacey probably isn't playing either.
No.
And neither is AJ Green.
I knew AJ Green got hurt. I saw that he got hurt pretty bad, but that's going to be rough because who's the other receiver?
Well,
nobody else has really stepped up.
Dakari Collins has played well. So is Hurry. Is that his name?
Yeah, he's been okay.
Can you
Dakari
look up-
Collins is
We
good.
have Skinner. We have Kariski if they'll throw him.
We may have to go old school Pittsburgh Steelers offense against these wild turds. Other than Bell, who's our yardage wise? Who's our leading receivers? Does anybody know?
Colin Lacey.
Okay.
He's the only one with more than 30 receptions, I believe.
Okay. Now, Robbie, we're going to debate, and this is all in love.
Dakari
do you know how
Collins.
Okay,
with
Collins.
11 receptions.
No, you're going by yards.
No.
Oh, yeah.
11 receptions for 170 yards.
Kariski and Skinner are the second most, the third and fourth most receptions with 19 and 18.
So, Robbie, I want to ask you this because, again, it seems like everybody's just hell bent on just pissing down Moss's leg. He says, my point is a better quarterback. Bell should have had over 1,200 yards and close to 10 touchdowns. Do you know how many times in Louisville history we've had a receiver with over 1,200 yards?
I will say,
I'm going to ask you. I'm asking you this, Sean. How many times in Louisville history have we had a receiver with over 1,200 yards?
oh God, here
Tutu did it.
Yeah, I don't think
Mm.
that Devontae did. I think he got 1,100 was his best year.
All right, so go ahead and address this point while I'm looking at.
My point would be is there have been times that Bell was open and Moss missed him, just flat out missed him. Bad throw. I mean, he's not been great. I remember the Virginia game. I know y'all remember that game where he should have had about 5 interceptions. He got lucky that his receivers could play DB pretty good because that game he threw the one out of the end zone. He almost got picked off. He threw the one deep that I believe was Chris Bell was able to knock the ball down. He had Chris Bell one-on-one and underthrew it all badly. So I would say yes with a better QB. And it's like, I don't know though, because some of it too is the offensive line hasn't been great all year. So you can make that argument as well. But we've also seen Miller Moss in the pocket, have a clean pocket and get antsy before he would just start seeing the rush and would start moving when he didn't have to.
So here's the answer. First off, coming in at 5th all time, our guest from the other night, Arnold Jackson, 1,165. So he doesn't qualify for the 1,200 yards.
Mm-hmm.
At number 4, Deion Branch, 1,188. Next, the DQ sauce. Oh, wait a minute. That's what popped up on my screen as I was looking.
The DQ sauce, man.
The DQ. At number 3, also our guest from the other night, Arnold Jackson, 1,209 yards. So the answer is 4. Because it says 3, but it's clearly 4. J.R. Russell 1,213, Harry Douglas 1,265, Tutu 1,276. So,
I would have loved to see this year's Chris Bell and Colin Lacey and Isaac Brown and Keywan Brown with Tyler SuCk. I think we all would have.
Yeah, Tyler SuCk would have.
But as Rick Pitino said once up in Boston, Tyler SuCk's not walking through that door.
I would like to have seen all those guys with Plummer. Plummer's my favorite quarterback that Brahms brought in. I mean, SuCk. So SuCk could throw the ball long, but we also lost 4 games with him.
That was the defense, though.
Well,
that Miami game, dude. He got us 50 or 40-something points, and they gave up 50 points.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do about that?
Now, I do not accept Plummer hate because, again, he won us 10 games, took us to ACC championship. But I did enjoy, and I think the offense ran smoother and played better and all that good stuff under Tyler SuCk. But I don't think Plummer did a bad job. The thing about Plummer that drove me wild is he didn't know when to get rid of the football. He took unnecessary sacks.
And he threw the ball at a low trajectory. How many batted passes did he have?
You know who else had unnecessary sacks and threw the ball erratically? The guy who threw the ball to the number 1 receiver of all time, Tutu Atwell, Malik Cunningham.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Robbie said, well, who's throwing to those guys? First off, probably I want to watch my words here because I have a lot of respect for him, but probably if you're ranking our quarterbacks from the last 20 seasons, he probably comes in at 16, 17. Who threw the ball to Harry Douglas, Sean? Was that Brian?
Yes, it was Brian.
So Brian, good. Who threw the ball to J.R. Russell? Was that LaFours or Ragone?
It might have been both. I think it might.
In 2003, it could only have been one of them.
2003, it would have had to been Ragone because 2004 was LaFours, I believe.
All right, and Chris Redmond threw the ball to Arnold Jackson. Who threw the ball to Deion Branch?
That was Ragone. I believe.
So you've had a couple of really good quarterbacks there, but the number 1 guy there is just it is what it is.
But everybody talks about Lamar and this, that, and other. None of the guys you mentioned receiver wise played for Lamar, and he could throw the ball down the field.
That's true.
Yeah, that was the one. Like you had Jalen Smith, who was his guy.
Yeah, I mean, he had good receivers, but I mean, offenses just work differently with different players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I'll agree that the defense last year was a lot more suspect and gave up. I mean, we were calling for heads last year.
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, we weren't. I mean, Gelati and Reiger,
Mm-hmm.
we had a phenomenal defense with Jack Plummer. Last year, we did not.
Right.
This year, first half of the season, we did, and it kind of put a Band-Aid on quarterback play. But Plummer didn't know when to get rid of the ball. Moss doesn't know when to just take a sack.
We've only had 9.
Can do both.
Right. We've only had 9 guys catch 1,000 yards in one season in history.
Yeah,
we've only got one guy since 2007 to do that, and that was Tutu.
I mean, what did I say? Chris Bell had 972 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So unless he just doesn't play,
if he's got 972, he just broke into number 972. He's 1 yard behind Mario Urrutia.
So I mean, 28 yards is all he needs
in 2 games.
Yeah, I mean he'll get that next.
Right. So he does have, and let's put a note down. Let's keep a check on Chris Bell's ascent up that list, because he is absolutely sitting at 972, right behind Mario Urrutia's 973. Touchdown receptions in a single season. We've only had a guy do 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Number 1, shocker, Tutu Atwell with 12. Number 2, Devontae Parker, or 1A, 1B with 12, Devontae Parker, and Ivan Green, our dude, with 12. So 3 guys have done it, done 12.
And only 2 wide receivers.
Right. And then coming in the second spot, Devontae with 10, our guy AJ with 10, and Anthony Cummings with 10. Dez had 9 1 year. Dion had 9 2 years. Lavelle Boyd had it 1 year, and Arnold Jackson had 9 1 year. So these just he may have, Robbie, but also you got to understand that defenses adjusted to Chris Bell throughout the season. He got off the gangbuster start. He was averaging 100 yards a game. By those calculations, he should be at 1,100 yards right now. But they stifle it, but they didn't stifle him by that much. He's still only like 128 yards short of averaging 100 yards a game. So
the other thing you got to look at is with those other. So to the flip side, Chris Bell has 72 receptions, 54 for Colin Lacey. Nobody else has 20. On those other teams with those other guys that you're talking about, you had other dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So that, to me, and I'm not taking anything away from this year, that makes that much more impressive that those guys were able to still get those yards. But a lot of that is because the defenses had other dudes they had to cover. This team is watch the run, guard Chris Bell.
Yeah, and they did that. They did that yesterday because Deuce tried to force it to Chris Bell, and they had him basically 4 guys around him.
So I would say that where he was talking about, what was it? It's already up the screen, but
way up the screen.
He'd had 1,200 yards. Blah blah blah. Well, he may have had 1,200 yards if we had other dudes. That's all we have. I mean, and we kind of knew that going into the season that the wide receiver position was thin. Was anybody going to step up?
Okay,
and they didn't. They didn't. And part of that was we see it every week. Miller Moss is eyeballing Chris Bell. Or
eyeballing Colin Lacey.
Right.
He eyeballs the first receiver. Whoever the first read is usually where and that's why he's had so many issues, because he's staring at his receiver every time.
Make sure that you all put in your notes somewhere that after the game next week, so next Sunday's show, we want to break down where Chris Bell stands. Because, Joe, you said he had how many catches this year?
72.
72 for 972, wasn't it?
That ties him 5th all time. He's 1 catch behind. One catch behind J.R. Russell's 2004 campaign. He is 3 catches behind J.R. Russell's 2003 campaign. He's 18 catches behind Arnold's 98 campaign and 30 away from his 99 campaign. But so Chris Bell, by all accounts, right now he is 5th all time in Louisville history with single season receptions. He is. What's his career receiving yards? Can you look that up?
Yeah, show it on there.
And we'll see where that is.
Career. Well, you'd think it would total at the bottom. Let's see if it does it if I do it this way.
Okay.
He has a career total of 2,166 yards, 151 receptions. He got half of his receptions in his career this year.
Okay. So right now he is 11th all time. You said 2,100 66?
Mm-hmm.
So he is 30 yards away from being 10th all time by himself. So he could be top. The next barrier would be 2204 by Deion Branch.
Needs 83 yards. He's at 917. That was what it was. 72 receptions, 917.
917. Okay. Singles. Still, the 917 would be good for 11th all time. How many touchdown receptions does he have in his career?
12.
So he would be 10th there as well, and he would need he'd need several to become the single season list. But anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. And
he has 7 tackles.
7 tackles.
Yep.
Well, when your guy throws a lot of interceptions, that'll happen. I digress. Are we looking at 40 plus turnover and personnel the portal season? I believe so. We're going to lose a lot on defense. I'm expecting this with the signing of the IMG Academy kid, the maturation of Boykins and Big Brax. I don't see Keywan coming back. I don't see Duke coming back. I do see Isaac coming back, but the quarterback will be gone. Yeah, for sure. There was some left on the table, but again, you can say that, and I'm fine with anybody thinking that and saying that, but the defense did adjust to Bell as the season went on. So that's why that's why Moss didn't throw to him a lot. So yes, I think Bell just had a lot. Okay. The Boykins kid looks to be a diamond in the rough. I do like him. I think he'll get better and stronger. Robbie says Cummings was the receiver he was talking about Friday night. Oh, okay. Cool. For what it's worth, I don't expect Isaac Brown to play against Kentucky. Let's just say I've seen some chatter on social media from family members talking about, it's news that they don't even have, just certain situations that if he was playing, that they'd probably be here in Louisville for the game, and it just doesn't look like that is the case. Let's get to halftime. Sean, it's time for you to shine once again, and we're going to be here to critique and probably obliterate you for it. It's Sean's newest, hottest segment sweeping the nation. It's the barbershop.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
Girl, do you believe in God? Because after seeing how beautiful you are, I do.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
He's never going to get it.
Sean's the Miller Moss of pickup line.
He's the Virginia Miller Moss of pickup lines. Virgin. Oh, it makes sense.
Well, he doesn't know when to take a sack.
Well, he doesn't know when to give it either. I digress. I will say this, that could have went so much darker, and I'm glad that you kept it. I heard you you brought Jesus into this, and I never want him to be a part of the punchline. But I thought you were going to say something along, do you believe in him? Because I'll have you saying his name all night. That would have been a better pickup line than what you said. Right, Joey? Exponentially.
I would have probably substituted angels in there somewhere.
I would have probably substituted the entire thing and then just not said it at all. But anyway, Sean's new segment.
I would have just went to a brothel.
We're here, Sean is here for your critiques of anything you all listen. You all may have a sister that's a little bit older that is mute. You may have a friend that is just super shy or blind. You may have some way to help out. We've been trying. Look, me and Joy have said 1,000 times, if we had a sister at all, we'd pay her to do something with some pocket stuff with Sean, something. But we don't, and we can't help it. And it is what it is. Listen, we want to re-shout out our fine sponsors of this podcast: Fitness Market, Fourpex, Collision Course Crew, Tailgaters, Cherry Pick and Shoot 360, Mossy Oak, Planet Fitness, Rally House, Beckman's Fine Blades, Josh Jarbo from Remax Realty, and Prime IV Louisville. Speaking of Prime IV Louisville, are you ready to take your health to the next level, Sean? Prime IV Hydration and Wellness. Whoops, covering the camera. Prime IV Hydration and Wellness has a special promotion just for you. Join them now and receive 1 month free with a paid 6-month membership. This offer is only available for a limited time. So head on over to Prime IV in Middletown to enjoy their customized IV treatments and expert care. Elevate your wellness routine today. Give them a call at 502-251-9836. Robbie's laughing at the pickup line. I don't even know if you consider that a pickup line. Segment 3, let's get to women's basketball. The women's team lost 72-62 in a game where the final score didn't really seem to be indicative. When I turned it on to start the fourth quarter, they were down 20 points. The women's team's now 4-2, probably going to fall out of the top 25 for a week or so, but they do have a multi-team event in the Ville this week, 11:28 through 11:30. They play Eastern Illinois, East Tennessee State University, and Bellarmine. They're on the ACC Network Extra, all 3 games. Check them out. That first game on the 28th is at 7 p.m. Ransdale, take care, guys. Got to go. God bless. Appreciate y'all's insights. Go. Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in as always. Let's get a little bit of men's basketball. We don't have a lot of men's basketball tonight because we have EMU tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on the ACC Network. The Cards currently have a 99.9% chance to win that game. I don't know why they don't just push it to 100. Then a couple of nights later, we play the New Jersey Institute of Technology, or Jersey Tech, as I like to call them, 9 p.m. late game on the ACC Network. 99% chance to beat them before a murderer's row of games where we have a neutral site, 2 aways, and a home game. First off, we could jump into the top 5 tomorrow, which would be the first time in a long time that's occurred. How important, Sean, is how important? I felt like Chris for a second. How important is it, Sean, for us to beat both of these teams 100-70 this week?
I think very important. Just to show that our offense isn't like a fluke, that we can just continually do this against bad teams and then against good teams. Even when they're playing good defense like Cincinnati, we're still going to be able to outscore them because nobody can really stop us. I don't think there's anybody. The only time will stop us, the only people who can stop us is ourselves, and we can't hit shots. And that's going to happen a couple of times this year. But man, you got to really just destroy these teams. I mean, it's got to be 132-70.
Okay, calm down, Sean. let me also point out, I forgot to point this out. I see the notes on my, so y'all know I write notes, and then if I think of stuff, I add it on. After the women's multi-team event, which is kind of like, I'd call EMU and NJIT this a multi-team event, they travel off to play number 2 South Carolina the next game.
God.
So we both have some pretty tough games. Our tough games are at Arkansas, at Tennessee, at Gainbridge against IU the same day as the Big Ten championship game that they likely will be playing football in, and then home with a Memphis team that's a little down this year, but never count an old rival out. Cincinnati showed us that the other night. Joey, how important do you think it is for us to get off to convincing wins this week?
I mean, it's important just because you want to show that you can just basically run the score up on teams like that. You don't want to have close games. And when I say close games against NJIT, it's 20 points. You know, if you only win by 20 points. Now, that being said, if you're playing, and this is no knock to anybody, if you're playing the Spencer Legs and those guys, you know, if those guys get a ton of minutes and you only win by 20, okay, cool. But if you're talking about your 10-man rotation right now, and you only win by 10, then we need to go watch some game film. But I don't think that we beat either of those teams by less than 30. We'll have some style points in there. I don't think Pat Kelsey's one who shies away from the gas pedal. I think we've had other coaches in other sports and even in basketball sometimes that once you get up to a certain amount, they just took their foot off the gas and the final score didn't really indicate how the game went. I don't think Coach Pat Kelsey is that guy, especially right now. How badly he wants to make everybody in the country aware just how good the Louisville Cardinals are, and I think that'll get our minds right going into the December games. That 4 game stretch that is going to be tough. Good thing, and I didn't even think about that Indiana game. That means a lot of their fans will be at the football game.
Well, the football game's at night, so they'll be able to go to both games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they might be tailgating.
Yeah, but I believe our game would be. Well, yeah, I guess.
You know what I'm saying? They might be out tailgating, getting prepped for the football game, because at the end of the day, that football game is going to be a whole lot more important to Indiana University than this basketball game is at the end of the day, because that can really, really put them in a good spot, right? I mean, they're already a lock for the playoff, but
well, unless they lose their next 2 games, I don't think they're a lock for. If they lose against, who do they play in the?
They're not losing their last regular season game. I think it might be Purdue.
Yeah, I think it is.
That's their rival. So,
well, I hope they don't, but whatever.
They're not losing it.
Get it, Sean, don't.
Ohio State's the team that'll beat them most likely, but they could probably lose that game 60-10 and still be a lock for the CFP.
Well, speaking of team, first off, a little bit of conference news. First off, SMU fully controlling their destiny now. They are pretty much a shoe-in for the ACC title game, which they can make their 2nd straight college football playoff appearance if they win the ACC championship. Also,
Virginia are in the driver's seats, right? After the Georgia Tech loss yesterday.
Who does SMU play next week? I thought they played Virginia next week. I could be wrong, but I believe. But anyway, the second piece of conference news: the California Bears fire head football coach Justin Wilcox about 15 minutes ago.
They play California, by the way.
Who does?
SMU.
Oh, SMU does.
Virginia plays Virginia Tech.
Okay. So there's another team that's in the mix. And
Pitt's in 2nd place right now.
Pittsburgh. Okay.
But who do we say they played? They played Miami, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So Miami has a chance to spoil.
Spoiler. Yeah.
So there's still a big log jam at the top, but I believe the way I looked at it yesterday, SMU, as long as they win their next game, they're in. I think it's the other. I think if Virginia wins, they're in. But if Virginia don't win, then Pittsburgh and who do we just say?
SMU.
Yeah, no, SMU's in if they win.
Oh,
it was the 3 1-loss teams are Virginia, Pitt, and SMU.
Okay, all right. So if they all win, I think SMU still gets in.
The only hope for Miami, I think, is that if all 3 of those teams lose.
That's what they said. All 3 teams had and they would be one of the 3 teams to defeat.
Then Miami would jump up, and I think Duke, if they won their last game, would.
What's their record?
They're 5-2 in the conference, and before last week, I think they were sitting in the 2 spot. That's the nightmare scenario for the conference is if Duke were to get in the ACC championship game and win.
Oh God. Oh, man.
Yeah, there'd be no other.
They lost to UConn 2 weeks ago.
Well, they suck. Kevin Murphy says this week is about taking care of business and staying healthy.
That's my IT guy at work.
Oh, it is? What's up,
What up, Kev?
What up, Kev? So yeah, and you're right. You guys see we haven't beaten any of the expansion ACC team. Yeah, 0-4 so far. Unfortunately, the loss to Cal and Stanford. Those were both upset losses. One score upset. Were they both? Was
Yeah.
Stanford a overtime or was it just a walk off?
No, it was a walk off.
Okay,
Walk-off.
so we got a walk off, an OT loss. We shouldn't have lost to SMU last year. The refs overturned a fumble that should have been a fumble, and we should have won that game. But yeah, 0-4. Yeah, I did see that. And it'll be our luck they'll leave the conference after the season. We won't have a chance for redemption against any of them because I know the game against was it Cal or no, the game against Cal, that was our first meeting all time against them, correct?
Yes.
And then I don't know how many times we played Stanford, but I would venture to say it's been less than 2 as well. I know we've only played SMU 4 times and lost all 4 times in 4 different venues in 3 different cities. So, yeah, we were just finding creative ways to lose to the Pac-3. Jay Bell says it's basketball season. Brom is who he is until he isn't. That's very fair. Again, his extension expected to be announced this week could be as early as we did get an email earlier today saying that there was an impromptu special ULAA meeting that is to be held tomorrow. There are a couple of regular business things on that agenda, but there was also something attached to that email, which I'll keep to myself, unless you're part of the premium chat, and then you know. But that leads me to believe his extension will be announced tomorrow. Rapid fire. The number 21-19 women's basketball team was done in by poor third quarter and fell to number 18 somebody, 72-62 Saturday afternoon at the KFC Yum Center. The Cards trailed by 2 at halftime, but went 3 for 20 in the third quarter and were unable to get back in the game. To show off, Laura Ziegler tallied her third double-double of the season with 18 and 11. It was the 4th time this year she has had 10 or more rebounds in a game. She is super tough. Tejiana Roberts led all scorers with 22 points, one shy of her career high. It was her second 20-point outing of the season. The U of L men's cross-country team wrapped up the 2025 season on Saturday morning, placing 26th at the 2025 Division I cross-country championships. It is their first appearance as a unit as the national championship meet in a decade. What? Come on, Higgy. The Louisville men battled with the nation's top teams to finish just outside the top 25, defeating 5 teams that were ranked in this season's USTF-CCCCA National Coaches Poll. So he abbreviates 7 of them, but okay. Calissa Blackshire had 15 kills and a career-high 10 blocks for her first double-double to lead the U of L volleyball team to a 3-1 win at Georgia Tech in Atlantic Coast Conference volleyball action Friday night at Atlanta. They also beat Clemson today. The Cardinals moved to 24-4 and 16-2 in ACC play with the win. Louisville hit 334 for the match with 54 kills, 3 aces, and a season-high 21 blocks. Chloe Chicoine joined Blackshire in double-digit kills with 15, as did Peyton Peterson, who had 13 kills, hit 4-6, and had 3 blocks. Hannah Sherman was a stalwart at the net. Higgy didn't write that.
Mm-hmm.
He don't even know. He couldn't even spell stalwart. With a career-high 14 blocks, which ties the school record by Kara Cressy against Texas earlier in the season. Cressy had 10 kills and hit 389 with 8 blocks. The number 5 and number 5/3 U of L men's and women's swimming and diving teams each posted a top 3 finish after the final day of action at the Ohio State Invitational at McCorkle Aquatic Pavilion. The Cardinal men took second, while the U of L women placed third. Make sure you're out there supporting our photographers, Jeff Nunn, TJ Barr, Justin Kruger, Keith and Renee Russell. Good old Renee Nussel. And our beat writer, Sam Baisden. Sam, take a bow. Sean, bow Sam for us.
No.
You just tip his microphone, you moron. Okay, don't touch his stick. And Taylor Kopp, who's been sick the last couple of weeks and still killing it with the men's basketball coverage. Stay tuned to our social media and just subscribe to us on YouTube or Facebook to be alerted anytime we go live, even though we prefer the U of Tube. You can find the audio version on over 125 podcast avenues: Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, TuneIn, Google, Amazon, and iHeart. Hit subscribe, like, heart, plus sign, or whatever it is that Sean does on the weekends now to have these podcasts downloaded directly to your phone, laptop, or PC. Sean, you have to. Did you get in the group chat yesterday and see the Christmas present I was going to get you?
No.
You have to look at it. Was that in the Dim Boys chat or was that in? Yeah, check the DB chat and you'll see why. If you haven't listened to all the prior episodes of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, it's easy to find. No, it's really believable. Go to cardinalsportszone.com, go to the podcast tab, podcast drop down menu, select CSZ Podcast. It's easy. For the stuff from our last 7 years, it's under CSZ Podcast. The stuff we were doing to get us on the air at 93.9 is under archives. All the stuff from 93.9 The Ville you can find somewhere on Nick Valvano's thumb drive. He deleted all the stuff accidentally, he said. I don't believe it at all. I don't believe Nick. We'll have him on the show here pretty soon. We're going to, you know what? We'll have Nick on the show here in a couple of weeks and we will, what's it called? Interrogation. We will have a CSZ interrogation of Nick Valvano here in a couple of weeks. Stay tuned. No, I already said that. Check out our exclusives on CardinalSportsZone.com, the place it all began. Shout out to everybody who's out there sharing the podcast and listening. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to our guys, Marcus Maven and Steve Rummage, doing the Lord's work from Monday through Friday from 10 to noon on ESPN 93.9 The Ville. Shout out to our guy, Dalton Pence, who does Mondays with DP, from 6 to 7 on the Big S. It's Big X, 1450 AM, 98.1 FM, I believe. I'm not sure on the FM one. I always listen on AM. Shout out to our guys, Blake McCauley and Terrence Jennings, with their new show, Spill in the Ville. New episode dropped today. On social media, where can everybody find you, Joey?
Joe Wallman 526.
Joe Wallman 526. And Sean, where can they find you on social media?
At Elville Sean Twitter and SBarber6 Instagram.
Hey, Sean, where can they find you? Oh, never mind. Already did plenty of fist.
Oh my God.
Robbie said, don't forget our Louisville rugby team is in the national semifinals again next Saturday. Absolutely. Kevin says, I think they should divert some of that extension money to NIL. We allegedly have an influx of money coming in for football to help support. I'll tell you all after the show. But good news as far as football NIL is on the way. Where are we at? Oh, yeah. Shout out to our guys, Dan Furman and Mark Spiegel, 502 Circle, helping getting all this money together. And shout out to our title sponsor, the good people at, on the count of three, 1, 2, 3, Prime IV. Speaking of Prime IV, you did better than I thought, Sean. Just a little early. I assumed you'd be early, premature. Knock. Did you know
premature enunciation.
Knock on. Well, for him, does he knock on wood or does he knock on rubber bands?
That'd be rubber bands because KJD.
Did you know that regular IV therapy, speaking of KJD, this could help with it. Did you know that regular IV therapy can help improve your energy levels, boost your immune system, and enhance your overall well-being and virility? At Prime IV Hydration and Wellness, their memberships offer a convenient way to maintain your health with monthly treatments. Visit them at Prime IV in Middletown to learn more about how their wellness plans can support your lifestyle and help you feel your best every day. Give them a call at 502-251-9836 and tell them Cardinal Sports Zone sent you. Final thoughts. Joey, we'll go with you first.
Maryland sucks. They're trash. Help control the population and keep it in your pants. Just kidding. Control the pet population. Get your pets better neutered. Shake off the last couple weeks. We want to play spoiler this weekend. Kentucky needs one more win to become bowl eligible, and we do not want them in a bowl. And I believe I called this a couple weeks ago. That's what was going to happen. This game was going to come down to them needing a win in order to become bowl eligible.
Well, they've had 5 wins for about a month and a half now, right?
No, they before Vanderbilt they won 3 straight. Tennessee Tech, Florida, and Auburn.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
I don't keep up. I don't know.
Yeah, they were 2-6 or whatever, and then or 2-5, And
You called a 3-game winning streak?
I didn't call a 3-game win streak. I just had a bad feeling. If you remember, I said it's going to come down. Watch, it's going to come down to them needing to beat us to get into bowl eligibility. And here we are. So let's play spoiler. Let's go out and drop 35-40 on them, hold them to 20 or less, and send them to the off season.
Fabian says go Cards, but that was a pathetic showing yesterday. It didn't look like Brown was trying to win. I wouldn't say it didn't look like. I think he was trying to make everybody happy. Y'all been wanting to see Deuce. You've been wanting to see anybody but Moss. He just showed y'all what y'all wanted.
I think, like I said earlier, yesterday was like a dress rehearsal for next year. Let's get both of those guys a little action, see what they're. I mean, because that's a good team they're playing. So it's not like you're playing Eastern or something like that where you can't really get a good vision of what they're doing. And needless to say, it didn't go too well for either guy.
No.
So I think maybe that was, hey, let's see what we got going into next year. So we know what we need to do in the off season at that position.
Well, Allen's not eligible to come back, so putting him in for that purpose, I don't know why you would do it. But what I will say is this: if they play again this week and Miller's not playing, I will agree. But what's the point in putting them in for one game to get ready for next season if you're not going to play them the rest of the year?
Because
I don't know why
SMU's a better team. I mean, SMU's a better team than Kentucky.
Well, that's true. But they may,
and that's a rivalry game. You're not going to necessarily want to throw them into a rivalry game. I mean, at least Miller Moss has played in bigger games.
Actually, Brady Allen does have time still. He's only a redshirt junior.
How?
He's a redshirt junior.
I thought they said that he was still eligible to come back.
So he redshirted his first year. So
he played in 1998. I mean, how's he still?
He was probably around to get a COVID year.
Oh, that's right, the COVID year, definitely.
He played for Brom at Purdue.
Yeah. That was 20. I think he's part of 2019 class, or maybe it's 2020.
Oh,
either way, but
regardless, I don't believe he'll be back. I don't believe any of the running backs will be back, other than Braxton, Boykins, and Isaac. It's just going to be. Fabian says 2 years in a row we make Jennings look like Lamar Jackson. Fair enough. Sean, did you finish your thoughts?
Oh, I haven't.
Or did you? You didn't start yet. Okay, no, I couldn't remember.
It's market season in the Ville.
Okay,
may God have mercy on Eastern Michigan because Louisville will have none. And football, let's just relax. I know it's been rough.
It's been rough.
But hey, apparently that California quarterback might come free now, so might have a quarterback next year.
You know what?
That'd be for the next 2 years.
Which reminds me, Sean, we need to go to your hottest segment, the Sweep in the Nation, and you need to send a love note to California's quarterback.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
Just come to Louisville, man.
And that's why.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
Idiot. No, I think he would look good in Louisville's. The names that I've heard that we're going after are not impressive at all to me. But that's speculation. I haven't heard that from anybody that's got even a little bit of validity to.
What was that guy's name? We'd have to go by his initials.
Yeah.
I was trying to put Sean on the spot.
Yeah. I ain't even trying to say that name.
No, you have to try. By the way, I've just had about 100 people hit me up asking me how to get in the premium chat. Maybe we should start charging for admission to that. I wouldn't do that to one guy.
Grandfathered. Jaron Chiave Sagapotule.
Bless you. Now, what's the quarterback's name?
JKS. That's what we're going with.
Oh no, just kiddings. Yeah, it's Jaron Kiawe Sagapotule.
Sagapotule.
Padudi. Listen.
Sagapolatelli.
Sagapolatelli. That's it. Yeah, you're right.
Sags. That's what we'll call him.
Sags. Well, Sean Sags, but for a
By the
different
way,
reason.
Sean, did you know that was it Sags is Cody Rhodes' uncle?
From the Nasty Boys. Yeah.
And there was somebody else. Typhoon Tugboat.
Oh, Tugboat,
Is his
also
uncle
known
as
as
well.
wasn't he the Shockmaster? as
Yes.
well?
No, that was Earthquake. That was the Shockmaster. John Tenta was the Shockmaster.
No, I think it was Fred. I think it was Fred
Ottman. I
yeah,
don't
Fred
think.
Ottman.
I think Earthquake. John Tenta was the Shockmaster, Earthquake, and then he was also in the Oddities. He was Cartman.
It was Mr. Ottman.
Was
the
it? Okay.
Shockmaster, yeah.
All right. Well, then there you go. That's probably how he got the gig. Nepotism.
Good old Nepo baby. Nepo baby.
That's interesting though, right?
It is.
Especially like he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame and there's no mention of like, oh, my brother-in-law or my nephew or
Yeah, that's a good point.
Idiot.
yeah.
Um,
Come on, Sags, come to Louisville. Jerron Chiave Sags. Get that bag.
JKs. Literally, that'd be his initials. Do not forget to
Bring the Jesus with you too.
Yes, absolutely. Don't forget to tune into our Friday night season finale this Friday at 10:05. Once again, with us moving out of football season, our Friday night preview shows will come to an end this week unless there's a bowl game on a Saturday, and we have if there is a Saturday bowl game that we're involved in, we will come to you with another episode then. But our regular season finale for Friday night show, I know Sean's happy because SmackDown's moving back to 3 hours, and he wouldn't want to do an 11:05 show on TBS. So this Friday, 10:05, we'll still have our Sunday shows just like every season. Now the time of our Sunday shows may change. I know we don't mind. None of us really mind, but once it gets to one show a week, there's some of us that would rather, just do it early in the day and then have the rest of the day to relax. I actually don't mind the 6 p.m. slot on Sunday.
I really like the
later 6 p.m.
slot.
Okay. So then we won't be, so then we'll keep, for this year, we'll keep the Sunday shows Sunday nights at 6, unless there's a basketball game, which we very rarely play Sunday night basketball. But listen, had a good time with you guys tonight. For myself, for Joe Wallman, for Sean Barber, and for Sean Barber's Chastity Belt. Thanks again for the support. We love you guys. And until next time, this has been the Cardinal Sports Zone Podcast.